not sure what noise that was.
Which one? I have no idea. It's make-up noises as we go along. Welcome to another episode of Hockey 24/7, brought to you by Raider Media. It's funny, we've been doing this show for a couple of months now. We've done so many of these podcasts, but now we're in a brand new studio. We've got the Hockey 24/7 shirt behind us, the Raider Media poster behind us. I actually had to turn around and have a look to remember how to announce the title of the show. I can do it in my sleep normally, but I had to actually turn around and go, the Hockey 24/7 podcast brought to you by Raider Media. Welcome once again. It's Derek Alberts with Tyron Jabu Barnard. How are you, Tyron?
Yeah, I'm great. I don't need to because I'm only on one of our Raider Media podcasts, and that's the hockey one for now, Hockey 24/7. But while we're talking about them, if you're a good sports fan, go listen to Inside the Game, Run Hunter, the other Raider Media podcast. Some great insights and some great chats with some top quality sports people.
Yeah, and speaking of top quality sports people, we've got another big name coming up on today's show.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a man whose career has been blossoming. He's made the national team. He started to become a regular in the team, and at the sprightly young age of 23, I think it is, but he'll correct me shortly, Tyson Dlungwana, at 34 test caps, joins us today.
Tyson, welcome to the show.
Hey, Derek and Tyron, thanks for having me, guys.
It's a pleasure. I'm refreshing TMS, and it's 22. Hey, Tyson.
It is 22 indeed. Yeah, Tyron, I was gonna definitely correct you on that.
It's fine. That means that Derek is exactly WH.
Yeah. What are we on?
He's 22. You're 44, aren't you?
Nah, close. Not there yet, though. The many grey hairs give it away, though. But thankfully, I'll only be celebrating my 40th in 2 years' time. But you'd never say that.
I've seen the way you play dodgeball. I thought you were closer to 50.
No, that's fair enough.
Taza, welcome to the show. We've been trying to get you on for a while, but you're a man who is in much demand. It's very hard to get time with you. Your agency makes it very difficult. Your modeling career takes up a lot of time. So we thank you for freeing up the time for us tonight.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Tyron. Yeah, I actually had something scheduled tonight as well, so I had to cancel to be on the show. No, thanks for having me there, guys. I really appreciate it.
We're actually recording this for all the listeners. It is now about 1 minute past midnight because it's the first opening in Tyson's diary.
Yeah, we're very privileged to get it. And he said absolutely no longer than 33 minutes because his next engagement will be at 34 past midnight. So you've managed to squeeze it in a very awkward window, but we're thankful nonetheless.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Tyson, the best place to start is obviously in the most recent news that's come out, and that is that you are in the squad for the African Cup. How are you and the team feeling about the challenge of the African Cup?
Yeah. Firstly, it's cool, to be selected again, to be picked for Africa Cup. Actually, this morning, the coach sent me a message, Springs, and just sort of checked in how I was doing. Am I injury-free? Am I following the program that we've been giving, that sort of insight. So it's just, cool to bounce ideas with him as well. And, obviously preparing for that as well. Even if I wasn't selected, I still would have been the same sort of focus and the same preparation it is. It's only a few days. I think we leave on Sunday or Monday morning, some of the guys for the camp as well. I'm really excited about that. Few tweaks I have to do in my training as well. Hopefully by when next week Monday comes, I'm sharp and I'm ready for camp.
Brilliant. Look, we're really excited, and obviously on the back of the FIH Hockey Series final, things are hotting up.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the book right now that we got given, sort of that program book from that FIH series, and that was really cool. If you recall, we obviously started slowly, losing our first two games. But we always knew as well, it was always game 4 and 5 that were actually sort of our final games. And, we were lucky, but at the same time, we also created our own luck and those results. And then now we've got obviously one more step. And, just speaking about some of the challenges as well, we know playing Africa Cup is never easy. Playing any test match, in fact, is never easy. And I think we're fortunate this year that it's hosted in South Africa at least. So at least we'll have the backing, hopefully, of the home crowd. And yeah, that should put us in good stead as well.
Tyson, you mentioned that you got a call today from the coach, Gareth Ewing. And, I mean, he's new to the game. Well, not to the game, but he's a new face as far as the official coach is concerned of the SA men's side. He's settled in. He looks to have settled in fairly quickly. Have you enjoyed what he's brought to the party?
Yeah. I mean, I know Coach Springs for quite a while now. He coached me when I was playing in the Under-21 Junior World Cup as well. And at UJ as well. So we have a cool relationship, to say the least. I know some of my teammates will be laughing now when they listen to this, but we do. So yeah, I mean, we following up on Mark Hopkins, we actually took a lot of concepts that he brought in, like Springs, kept a lot of the concepts we used and we trained. And so he just built on that. And that's what we've been slowly doing, building those connections, finding the theme and the pattern that, that suits us best. So I think, yeah, it was cool that Springs could build on top of what Mark Hopkins left.
I've got to ask, why would some of your teammates be laughing at that fact?
Oh, no, Springs will hate me for this. Let's just say we had a good discussion during video analysis.
This sounds like it's got enough juice on to fill an episode itself. But you've actually, you're right, you have walked quite a road with Springs already. Golden Gate Gladiators in the PHL, SA Under-21 in India, where you guys cracked the top 10. You've played UJ hockey with him. So do you think that's something that's advantageous to you, or does it something that puts a little bit extra pressure on you?
A bit of both, to be honest, Tyron. But I mean, I know what the coach expects as well. I try, obviously, just listen as much as I can to the instructions that are given as well, and really just try to apply. And it doesn't matter whether it's Mark Hopkins or whether it's Coach Springs as well, whoever my coaches be in the past. It's just applying what the coach tells you and really just trusting what he says as well. So yeah, Springs and I do come a long way, and I'm happy that he's the coach as well. And yeah, we have a really good relationship.
Fantastic stuff. Tyson, this is not going to be your first African Cup. I know you went to Ismailia in Egypt in 2017. I want to talk through that tournament because we went there with what appeared on paper as a slightly understrength team with a few of the experienced guys making themselves unavailable. Playing Egypt in Egypt. Was that the biggest baptism of fire you've had in terms of international hockey, or was the experiences in India even bigger?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question, Taran. And I mean, yeah, Billy as well has been alongside me. Like, we've sort of had a similar career, and we always try to compare the scenarios and what the intensity was like, or the mood, or the feel. And they're all different in their sort of nature. And like just experiencing India in India was just mind blowing. I remember I actually was warming up and I had earphones on, biggest mistake, because as soon as I took them off for the first time in like however long I've had them on, like the crowd was just so loud and it was actually intimidating to say the least. So those are experiences as well that we build on, and that's something I know next time, that perhaps when we're playing India I shouldn't warm up with my earphones. So we learn from those things, and they're really cool to experience as well. Playing Egypt in Egypt, and if it's just one word to describe it, it was rather intimidating because, you build up to that final as well. All of a sudden there's, a lot more sort of security, and, we're getting escorted now to the stadium, and, there's just people everywhere as well, and sort of a hostile crowd, that African crowd. But I mean, it's an experience, and we learn from that. And next time, if it does happen, maybe we'll handle certain scenarios a little bit better than we did. So yeah, they are. I want to say they're the same, but they are different in their own nature.
Tyson, you alluded to it a little earlier. I think you downplayed it somewhat. We were speaking about the FIH Series finals. It was an event that you guys had to do extremely well in order to make it to the next leg or that one step closer to Olympic qualification. Didn't have the greatest of starts, those losses to the USA and Japan, I think it was. But yeah, I mean, what a comeback from you guys. And that semi-final victory of the USA, getting revenge over them, but doing so in the most nail-biting of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I still get goosebumps watching that like little clip that last sort of 34 seconds of the game, even today. So yeah, that was such a special moment, and I'll allude to it and say, some people will say we got lucky, but in actual fact, I think we dominated that game. I remember it very, very clearly, and we played really well. When we had opportunities, we knew it was going to come, and credit to the USA team. They were really sharp on their defense as well. They had their priorities, which was just holding the middle. And, we failed to capitalize on those opportunities. And, whether it takes us 2 minutes to break the lock or whether it takes us, all the way until the final second, that's what will happen. So we create our own luck, and, obviously to come away and knowing that, we're in the final and, we've qualified sort of, or at least the first step of qualifying, it's almost like a relieving feeling to be like, okay, what's next? All right, let's prepare for this. So yeah, it's really cool.
And to be fair, I reckon even your first match against the USA, you dominated matters everywhere except for the scoreboard itself. I think you definitely had the surfeit of possession in terms of circle entries, dominating the numbers there. Many people were surprised, not by the fact that you lost to the USA, but by that final score, because by all intents and purposes, you were by and large the better side. Yeah,
we dealt with a lot of flack from back home. I remember that very clearly. So, and that's sport. I on another day, a team can be very good and have all the possession but still lose the game. So, luckily it wasn't the important game, and we came away with a loss. Another loss again against Japan in the following 2 days. So, yeah, I'm not going to lie and say the mood in the camp was really good and, if we're hyped or whatever, but we knew which games were important and that's where the focus really clicked in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And here in South Africa, we were backing you. We were going crazy when we went through, and, there was even a clip that we can play you of a South African celebrating that goal against USA.
Come on! Yes, man! Come on! Yes, man!
Can you guess who that was, Tyson?
I want to say it's my sister. I can't recognize it though.
It was actually me, but it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
And that was really, all from
really
this week's
sounded
episode.
Like my sister.
No, I agree. I was with you there, actually, Tyson. I completely thought it was. I didn't expect. No, you know what? That was actually a voice note I got from Tyron, because we had been following the game so closely. We weren't watching it together, but we had been chatting nonstop on WhatsApp. Oh man, that was close. They came close to scoring. And then, of course, after Spoon scored right at the death, seconds later, I received that voice note from Tyron. Let's hear it again. One more time.
Come on! Yes, man!
Okay, that time it didn't sound like your sister as much.
No, it didn't. I'm sorry.
No, man, no worries. All right, let's go a bit further back. Before you went to India with the SA men's side, you went to India with the SA under 21 side. It wasn't quite Odisha, it was, or Bhubaneswar, it was Lucknow. And you and your team ultimately got the best ever result for a South African team at a world tournament. What was that experience like?
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Sure, I missed that team. I missed those guys as well. I mean, I just remember, I'm not too sure about the previous under 21 teams, but certainly for us, I felt like we had such good preparation. I think we were together for about 2 years. I remember the first time was 2015 at St. Albans. We had a huge camp with about 34 guys. And, from there on, obviously the squad was trimmed down and guys would, guys came up. And, to obviously stay in that from like the very first beginning of the IPT right through to the World Cup takes a bit of consistency and takes a bit of effort as well. So yeah, I'm going to credit the guys as well who stayed from 2015 right through to the end of 2016. So, and I remember just playing PHL as well, being the young side there, obviously learning from those other guys. And, we were lucky with some results as well. I think we ended up finishing the first PHL fourth that year.
Yeah.
And that was just sort of like our last preparation before we leave for India. And, when we got there as well in India, we had really good warm-up games against Belgium and against Germany. So I think our success was really just because of our preparation and how long we were together as a team. And that really, really helps, especially in a team environment, because, knowing a guy's habits off the field makes it way easier on the field as well. You just connect better as a group and the team gels. So, that experience and, when the World Cup came and we played that first game against England, maybe nerves or whatever the case was, but we definitely made errors that we would learn from, or at least we thought we'd learn from. And, I still watch those games as well. I have them on my laptop. I still watch and, I try still whatever, see, how it actually went wrong. And it's sports again. And we thought we were really, really, at least would win against England. And, at least maybe that would put us in good stead for the end of the pool. But obviously it didn't go our way there. So that was quite guttering as well. But, I think the guys, we played really well as a group and we gelled super well. And, the guys, our WhatsApp group still runs and guys still send us text messages, when we're in India or when we're at the Senior World Cup, guys are just like, keep it going, the guys keep representing us or whatever the case is. And, it just shows that love and like that spirit we had in the group. And we had such a good culture as well that we as the team put in place. And, all of those are little things and, that come together and just make such a great product. Again, yeah, the results could have been better, but yeah, I'll credit that group and yeah, they know I miss them and yeah, we all miss each other and it's just a strange fact that we will obviously never play in the team environment like that together.
No, absolutely. I mean, if you go through that team and I mean, I'll never forget that tournament before we go through the team. I was at a Pro Series indoor launch event, opening function at Rotanga Junction in Cape Town. And it was young kids, 14, 13, that kind of age group. And instead of running around, riding all the rides, all the kids were staying in a pub that had obviously closed because the kids had been booked out, this whole thing.
Yeah.
And we were all watching that India game where South Africa lost 2-1, but where we created so many chances that we could have beat them. Their keeper played well, their defender played well. And it was just one of those games where you just felt the unifying ability of the sport of hockey, much like any other sports in this country. But there's something special about hockey and something special about the youngsters coming through. And if you go through this team, in this team that played in India in 2016, we have you, Tyson, we have Matthew De Sosa, Pibo Lembeto, we've got Ryan Julius, Alex Stewart, Sia Nolachungu, Tevin Koch, and Billy and Tuli, who have been in and amongst the national team currently, still at really young ages, and throw in there the likes of Ryan Crowe, and potentially even looking a step further at the likes of Courtney Hall, Walter Pfaff, who might be knocking at the door in the future. There's some special names there that are going to become part of the fabric of SA hockey in years to come. What do you guys think that you did in that environment that just made you click so much better?
Yeah, sure. Those guys, yeah. I mean, they're still in the system as well. And I actually remember with Billy just looking at like maybe old pictures from when we were still in school. I remember we just had a tour in Zambia and Lusaka, Zambia in fives, and like more than half of the guys are still playing, which is fantastic. We still play against each other, with each other, whether it's PHL, IPTs, that sort of stuff. So it's just that's the hockey environment as well, and that's why we play, I guess. So yeah, the guys coming up, I'm super impressed. Like just looking at this current PHL as well, and the youngsters that were, I think it was in Algeria, where they played their Africa Cup as well. You know, just to name a few, Mustafa Kasim, I think it is, Diane Kasim's younger brother, like those guys in Gubane. You know, these guys are still yet to experience what we experienced, and you know, imagine if they get that team culture or that, you know, that unity that we had. You know, they'll be a much better outfit than, you know, what we were, at least in my opinion. And I think maybe the secret recipe to that answer, and maybe why we were so successful, and it's not an easy answer as well, and it's, you know, it doesn't stay there, but I think we really just trusted each other. You know, we trusted each other we had, you know, times where we'd speak about, you know, things that obviously would never leave that room as a team. And, you know, that just created that trust in our environment off the field. So, and a huge part of that as well was the backing of the staff. Like, we had such a good group of support staff that we had, you know, just Gavin Shang and Nicholas Pereira, Devin van der Merwe, the combination of Neville Rothman and Springs, you know, before he was married. You know, that worked. Yeah, that worked really well. So
before who was married, Springs or Neville?
Before Springs was married.
Okay, because I was actually at school with Neville's wife. No one did anything to do with them, but no, they've been married forever and a day. Tyson, we chatted to Austin Smith on the show, and we spoke to him about the tournament, the FIH World, the finals, and making it through to that final against India. And we spoke about the slow start that you guys had. I mean, I know we mentioned it already against the USA and Japan, and he said a lot of it had to do with in this day and age, with SA hockey being as far removed from professionalism as you can get, especially when you compare it to the European sides. It was basically a case of landing, meeting your teammates, getting to know one another, and within a day or two's time, playing on the international stage. I mean, and here you've just spoken about a couple of years back how strong the bond was between the teammates. I mean, there's definitely... I'm sure that must play a massive role in the fact that you guys just don't get to play enough with each other anymore.
Austin's 100% spot on there. And, you know, this is something I also alluded, you know, frustratedly maybe, you know, to my teammates, is that, and, you know, it's not their fault as well. Like, but I mean, if you think about it as well, you know, it's very, very difficult if, you know, a bunch of guys who are really good at what they do meet together, you know, that evening or whatever, have a training session, play a warm-up game, and then go straight into an international test match. You know, you can, if you really know sport and you know the depths at least of sports, you know, you need that gel, you need that time with the team as well. And unfortunately, I think, our structures in South African hockey don't allow that. I mean, how, when, and who pays for that? And that sort of stuff. So it's very difficult, you know, but that's why when we do have the time together, we really, you know, do try and maximize it and use it as wisely as we can, and, you know, work on certain things that we need to work on, you know, instead of probably worrying about the complicated stuff, to put it in simple terms. So when we're together, we really maximize the time, but it's just difficult, when guys land and, you know, the next day we train together, and then the following day we play a test match. It's difficult for everyone.
Yeah, Tyson. I mean, I think in almost every single episode that we've spoken to someone, we've spoken about the challenges of SA hockey, and, you know, we fly all the way to a World Cup, give each other a high five as we're walking onto the field and kind of start. But in truth, it feels like there is a slight upturn. It feels like the hockey community has got a little bit more interest once again. The men have risen up the rankings. Do you guys in the team also feel that? Are you feeling a little bit of this positivity around?
I was about to go on to that, and thanks for asking, because, I mean, there are people who are working behind the scenes. I think for the first time, at least since I've been involved in the SA men's hockey team, we've got about 150 cookers, which are those, you know, proper balls that we play test matches with. And previously in the past, we haven't had that. And Coach Springs is a part of that that team who are, obviously trying to get the best sort of quality we can get. And, people are working behind the scenes. You can see on social media pages as well. A lot of information is going out. And I think, we're trying to bring that culture and that community at least together. And, hopefully people also realize the cause that we're fighting for. And it's just awesome to see the reaction that we've gotten as well. I'll stress those hockey balls again, because it's just amazing what a difference it does in terms of just preparation and all of that, and how we play the game. Because a cooker ball is different to what a normal hockey ball is, and that's those are the little things that if we can get right, at least then we are we're ticking that box and we're getting at least 1% better as a group.
But it does lead to an interesting question specifically for you. So hockey has financial difficulties, but let's pick another random sport, like, I don't know, football. Football doesn't have financial difficulties. So if you are a young man who is presented with the opportunity of playing hockey or signing a professional football contract, which would you pick? But in all seriousness, obviously we know that you were signed with Maritzburg United, and apparently you're a very, very good footballer. I've only seen you play in warm-ups. What made the decision to switch your allegiance fully to hockey? Okay, I'll give you the long answer and then the short answer. The short answer, Mike Beshe. But you're correct there, Tyron. I did play for Maritzburg United at development level. Was on a contract since I was under 13 and 15. And then I was potentially going to sign an under 19 to reserve league contract. And that's sort of when I had to make the decision as well. And I had a best mate as well. We played together, we trained together, and we really loved the sport. He actually, in fact, was a hockey player as well. So we, and he made a decision much, much earlier than when I did. So basically, I was at Maritzburg College at the time, and I was playing decently good hockey. That year, I think I won that award for the best defender of the tournament at the time. And I think I was a year young. I was still 15 years old. And so the hockey was really working, and I was really playing well, and I was also enjoying it, making teams as well. So at the time, I would say hockey was, sort of getting me in good stead, and I was enjoying it more. And eventually at Maritzburg College, I got a bursary to be there. So it was all for the hockey. And, at that time, I would have made a decision, obviously, to play hockey. But, if I could fast forward and see what it would look like if I play football to compare to hockey, then obviously the decision would be easier. And, we chat about this with my friends as well. It's just, you never know, but I don't regret it because, I've met some incredible people in the hockey community. We all love hockey. I love hockey as much as all my friends do as well. And whether we have to pay for tournaments or whatever the case is to play the game, and then so be it. But at the end of the day, that's why we play, because we love the game so much.
Also, any truth to the rumor that you wanted to emulate Maritzburg's most famous hockey son, Jonty Rhodes?
I feel like you heard this somewhere in the commentary booth.
I haven't.
Okay.
Speaking of commentary, you have been in the commentary booth of late. How are you enjoying it?
Sheesh, I was very lucky. Sean Everett just gave me a ring and asked me if I was available to do a little bit of commentary for him, and I was like, yeah, sure, I would love to do that. And obviously I was really, really nervous in my first game. I still haven't listened to myself yet. I don't know if I want to. But, it was, the first game I was just really nervous and didn't know really how to say it or when to say it. But the likes of Gerald and Andy with me, assisting me, was really cool. And, for me, it's just a learning experience, and I really love it. And, I've gotten some good reactions as well, which is great. So it is cool. It's fun up there, and you get to watch hockey, which is really cool.
I had my first stint commentating hockey about a month or two ago. We were at the Spa Indoor Series in Durban. Myself and Tyron were involved with that. We went down. It was a test series between South Africa, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. And it was also my first real experience of indoor hockey. I absolutely loved, firstly, the sport and the commentating side of things. I mean, the only time I've really commentated in sport was a lot of rugby. I mean, this was a whole new ball game, and I absolutely loved it. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't say the same for indoor because I'm really bad at it. Sure.
But how easy is it staying impartial when your mate Billy Ntuli is pulling off one of his ridiculous goals once again?
Sorry, Ty, can you answer that question again?
I was saying is how easy is it when you're in commentary to stay impartial when your mate Billy Ntuli is doing some of the magic that he can do?
Yeah, that's some of the criticism I've gotten, at least, is that it's very evident who my friends are. So I do apologize for that. I'm not intentionally doing it. It's just, I mean, it is easier that way. I know his movement so well. I mean, all my friends, I know exactly what they're going to do, when, and so it just makes it easier to commentate and more natural, at least.
Yeah, so because we brought up football, I thought we're going to throw you the same question that we actually threw Billy and Tulia back in episode 8. As a footballer, I'd like you to form a 5-a-side football team consisting only of hockey players, and preferably hockey players you've played with before. So not like Mo Forster or Jamie Dwyer, because also I don't know if they would be any good at football. They need a stick in their
No,
head.
okay.
And so I'm pretty sure they weren't listening, so I can say that. But yeah, I'd like to know who's your 5-a-side team, and you may choose to select yourself or not.
Okay. No, I'm definitely in it. I'm the captain.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, this is quite cool. So I'll definitely have Billy in my team. I'd have MK Latuka.
I was gonna say, Billy did have you in his team, so at least you've repaid the favor.
I would hope. I would hope I'm in his team. So yeah, I'd have Billy Ntuli. I'd have MK Latuka. I'd have Onke Latuka. I'd have Kevin Cock. And did I mention myself yet?
Yeah, you did as the captain. So
and I'll have myself.
So Maritzburg
yeah, there
College.
We go. That's my 5.
Maritzburg College and Billy.
There you go. Yeah, he should have been a college boy.
Good old Kuzney boy there, hey? All right, I think that's a pretty decent team. The other question we asked Billy was who would win in a sprint between Billy and yourself, and he said, I think his exact answer was, come on, Tyron, that's not even a real question.
and he followed
really?
it up. Yeah, and
True story.
He followed it up with me by a landslide. Me being him.
Yeah.
Well, it's safe to say, and we need a retake of this. We did have a bet. Actually, it was this time last year, during CHL. So it was one of the games, one of the late games, and we stayed at the Randburg place there. Mm-hmm. And we obviously decided we made a bet, and we'd say 50 meters, so obviously just from the halfway line of the field to the baseline. And yeah, so we did that, and he did beat me by half a second.
That was a 50. Okay, so now next time you guys have got to do 100, and we want video evidence.
Exactly.
We want video evidence.
Yeah, because these podcasts are now going to start going out on YouTube as well. We can actually clip this into one of the YouTube clips. The race-off between Billy and Tyson.
All right. Great. Yeah, I'll make sure that happens.
Good.
All right. The other thing Billy said was that he scores a lot more goals than you, but he rates that when you do score a goal, we're going to see dancing like we haven't seen before on a hockey field.
He said that. Oh, my God. Really?
I mean, I may have changed his words slightly, but it was along those lines.
Okay. Geez, I don't think I will score a goal. I'd never go in a game thinking I'm going to score a goal. Never. But I don't know, just the defender's mentality, I guess. But if I do, I definitely do have something special, and hopefully let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, you mentioned, Tyson, a little earlier when you were choosing your football side that you'd make yourself captain. Is a captain something that you aspire to on the hockey front?
Actually, it is something I did aspire to when I was growing up. It was something I enjoyed doing, and just taking that responsibility. But as sort of my career has developed, as the game changes as well. That sort of stuff for me is more of a distraction now. So at least, especially in this time of my career, all I'm worried about is having a good game, making my teammates look awesome, making sure that, my zones and my areas is at least I'm ticking all my boxes that I need to do. So, having that sort of responsibility, I mean, it's cool, but at this moment of my career, it's not something I prefer. And I'm enjoying how I'm playing the game. I'm playing with a lot of freedom, not having to worry about certain things or other things that a captain would worry about. I'm pretty happy at just how I'm learning and growing in the game.
It's funny you mentioned that because as I spoke about it earlier, we have chatted to Austin Smith, and he sits just one cap away from earning his 100th cap as captain of South Africa. And he hasn't captained for a while. And we said, well, wouldn't you want to reach the century mark? Surely that is something that you aspire to achieve. And he said, no, not at all. And he mentioned the exact same thing that you did. He said, just to not have that pressure and to just play your own game makes a huge difference. He said, if he can finish his career without experiencing that extra percentage of pressure and not see off 100 caps, he'll die a happy man.
Yeah, no, that dude is super experienced, Eric. Yeah, and it's funny you say that because he's already like a leader in the way he plays the game. So, credit to him for putting it that way, because it's actually evident on the field as well. He doesn't necessarily need the armband, for us to see that, he's the leader. So, I mean, he's experienced. He's played this game for a very long time, and it's really cool to have him in the team. Austin Smith.
All right, Tyson, I'm going to ask you to quickly put your head on the block here. Who's going to win the Premier League in football this year?
That's not a question, though, Ty.
No, it's a real question. It's a real question. I mean, it's obviously...
Who's going to win the Premier League in the next season?
Yeah, it's not going to be my team.
No, it's not. But obviously Manchester United. There we go. There it is.
Okay, you've put it out there. Who's gonna win La Liga?
The La Liga, I will go with the Madridistas this year. I'm going to really pay attention to them.
Okay, and then lastly, who's going to win the Rugby World Cup?
Ooh, I'm going to back the Boks. I'm always a South African sport. Netball ladies almost did us proud, but they did really well. I was rooting for them all the way, and I'm a fan of the South African sport team, so I'm going to go with the Boks.
And who is Gareth Bale going to play for next season?
Sheesh, I would love for him to come to Manchester United. We'll take him any day, but yeah, I mean,
they need him.
That too. Yeah, they need him. Shame, poor club. But let's hope he goes to China somewhere. But it'll be cool to see Bale out of Madrid. I don't think just my personal opinion, it doesn't suit him.
Well, and we're going to stick to the football theme because it's time for your one question quiz. So, as you know, in the one question quiz, we like to have a little bit of a link to the person who we're chatting to. Sometimes those links are a little bit vague. Sometimes they're quite clear.
By little, he means extremely vague.
Yeah,
not even related whatsoever to the person.
Yeah, you were born in Africa. This person was born in Australia. Therefore, both start with an A, so it has something to do with you.
Yeah.
But no, yours will be a bit more direct. There's a club that you were signed with in football, Maritzburg United. All I want to know from you is where did they finish in the PSL in 2017-18 and why was that so significant?
Oh, they finished last and they fought for relegation and we are still in the Premier League.
No, but not
the PSL.
Yeah, but you're talking 18-19. So they managed to stay up. I'm going one season back.
one season before, we finished third. That was 3. Okay, sorry, I didn't hear those years. Yeah, that was 3. That was a very good year.
Why was it so significant?
In my opinion, Fadlu David, is it David or Davidson? Fadlu Davis, but the head coach at the time was he played for the club as well. I remember when I was still playing as a lighty. Fadlu Davis was the coach, and they played this style of, it almost reminded me of Manchester City. And, they were brave young boys from, like, some of them lived in my location where I live in Pietermaritzburg. And, knowing the guys and seeing them flourish in, like, the PSL was really cool. So I followed that team. I remember that season very well. And, Fadlu Davids and all the youngsters that he had, that was a successful season for them.
I mean, look, you blitzed this answer. You blitzed it. Obviously, the highest.
Sorry?
You blitzed the answer. You got it 100% correct. It is the highest Maritzburg have ever finished in the PSL. So well done. And obviously now, hopefully for them under Eric Tinkler, it can be a better 2020 season.
And because you absolutely blitzed it, you've earned yourself another question. So congratulations. I want to know from you, who did Mike Tyson lose to in Tokyo in 1990? It was arguably one of the biggest upsets in sport, not just boxing. At the time, he was undefeated, and he lost the heavyweight title to this guy in Tokyo in 1990.
Derek, I'm actually not a fan of Mike Tyson, okay, the answer to your question, I do not know. I've never seen Mike Tyson fight. I do not plan on watching him fight anyone. Reason being is because, I don't know, for some reason, maybe if I, tell people what my name is and, it's either, just like Mike Tyson or because, I don't know, it's just that it's been happening far too often, and that's the only reason why I hate Mike Tyson.
Oh man, I'm sorry, but there's Tyson Fury who's coming now, up and running, as far as the boxing's concerned. So you could maybe try and take that moniker.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
he seems a little bit more fun. The answer, by the way, was a guy by the name of Buster Douglas, who was a pretty much a nobody before and after.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a massive shock, but then he got beaten again, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, no, actually, I think I know that. I think, I should have known that.
Okay, well, don't worry. It doesn't count towards your one-question quiz. You absolutely blitzed it. As Tyron said, that was a great answer to his Maritzburg question.
Yeah, I got nothing more. You owned it. So, Tyson, thanks very much. I know you're almost late for your next shoot, so we better let you go. And we'll obviously see you on social media or on whichever television show is hosting you. And ideally, we'll see you on the pitch in August at the African Road to Tokyo event.
There you go. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys having me and for us doing this. This was good fun.
Excellent stuff. Tyson, thanks so much, man. Listen, I can't wait to see you score your goal. I'm really excited to see it.
It's going to be a fortnight dance.
Oh.
Seems like someone's telling you things here, Tyron.
Good old social media.
I can't wait. Tyson, listen, man, keep well, and we'll see you soon, and best of luck over at Marty's.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
All right.
Yeah, what a legend.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Look, I think it's going to be a fantastic tournament, and we'll probably talk to a few people afterwards.
No, there's no question we will. And geez, you can only hold thumbs for South Africa. I mean, it is, you said, the road to Tokyo. Quite nice that I kind of squeezed in Tokyo at the end there. That was, it wasn't meant to happen whatsoever.
No, of course, all of these things are planned.
Yeah, true. But yes, so Tokyo just around the corner, and just go through the specifics. South Africa need to win it.
Very simple. Win it and we qualify for the Olympics.
And that's guaranteed.
Well, there's still a man named Gideon Sam, and I'm sure Tubby's involved somewhere. So nothing is guaranteed, but based on the qualification criteria, they would tick the boxes.
Okay, yeah, I remember, because luckily, I mean, you're my sounding board, so I get all the inside info from you. And when people were carrying on about what was happening at the World Series finals and after they beat the USA, especially how the guys carried on, people automatically assumed that they were through to Tokyo, and that certainly wasn't the case. And word started to get out, no, they've still got the Africa Cup. Then we had people saying, yeah, but can they win that? And of course they can. They're the dominant country when it comes to that. But it's not a guarantee, though.
Not at all. I mean, look, we've won a lot of them, but Egypt, last 2 times we've played them in South Africa, have beaten us. Very tough team who beat Ireland not that long ago. So and they did really badly at their hockey series final, so they have no chance except for African Cup. It's all or nothing here for them. And I just hope that it is nothing.
Yeah, same here. No offense to Egypt, but we, of course, want to see South Africa board that plane for Tokyo come the Olympics. It's going to be a magnificent event, and hopefully we will see South Africa flying the flag high, particularly when it comes to the hockey side. Tyron, it's been a pleasure once again.
Always good. And good night. It's a bit late now because we had to wait up so late for Tyson.
Yeah, thanks, Tyson, for accommodating us in your very busy schedule. We'll chat soon. Cheers.
Cheers.